Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Wednesday, March 19th. It is 6:20 right now. We have market opening up in about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up the stream real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. Last thing. And we are good to go here. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Sent out. All right, looks like we are good to go here. So as people join in, I'm gonna go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Back on the YM chart, data is fine now. I don't know what these lines are for. It's weird. I don't know what those 8-hour lines for. 4 hour. Yeah, it's weird. I'll have to check that shortly. It's probably for one of the indicators. Might be from the sessions. I'll check that in a few. Yeah, it looks like the sessions. It's a minute. And back down to the 1 minute here. Go here quick. I don't know what is this coming from. This is Yeah, I don't know what this blue background is from. I have to figure out, take this off. All right, hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, March 19th. It is 6:25 right now. We have market opening up in about 5 minutes. We have this blue background on TradingView now. It's like built into TradingView. I'm trying to figure out how to take it off, but it looks like it's something. Well, it's weird because it's not on this chart. It's just on my main one. It's not on this one either. It wasn't on there earlier. It just started popping up on there for some reason. It's not on anything else. Copy. I don't know what it is. On the regular continuous charting, guys. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else has it. I have it. Daniel has it. Trying to figure out like what. Oh, electronic trading hours. Okay, let's how do I take this off? I think they're all on electric trading hours. See it. There we go. So go to your settings, Daniel, and go to electronic trading hours background and just put opacity to 0. That was weird. Yeah, I don't know. They're all on electronic trading hours, but whatever. See, this is a thing that I kind of don't like about TradingView is that they always have updates, but they never tell you what the updates are. They just update it, and then you're kind of like, where is this coming from? Um, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. But I took it off. You guys, if your screen is blue, guys, just go to your settings, go to electronic trading hours right here under symbol. It'll probably say 8% here for opacity. Just put it to 0, and the blue will come off. It just shows you where the session's at. I mean, it's not necessary because you don't really care about that. I mean, I guess if you're back testing, it'd be useful, but we're not. So, yeah. All right, guys. Morning, everybody. Looks like, let's see who's here so far. Morning, Lila. Morning, Christian. Morning, Karen. Morning, Maria. Morning, everybody. Looks like the breakout for today is probably going to be a buy. We got a buy signal right here. So this candle is going to close in a few. And it looks like it's going to be a buy here for the breakout. The ATR is currently 12 right now. So the ATR is it's a bit low from what we're used to. Looking over here at the overall trend bias, the 4 hour is currently neutral. 1 hour is bullish. Price is above the pivots. Trend meter is green. Pivots are angling up. 30-minute here is neutral. 10-minute is bullish. 5 minutes bullish and 1 minute is bullish. So we have more bullish biases here with regard to 1 minute, 5 minute, 10-minute, and 1 hour versus the 30-minute and 4 hour, which are currently neutral right now. So with the breakout for the day, it's going to be a buy if you guys are looking to take it. We'll follow it. I'll come back and take a look at that in a few. Otherwise, looking at this over here, we currently have no rejections on the 1 minute market profile. 30-minute market profile, we have a rejection from the top end. This candle is about to close, so we're probably gonna get a bounce from the bottom, push back up. Looking over here on the 30-minute, 1 hour actually, we have a rejection off the bottom side. Rejection off the bottom side on the volume profile. No rejection on the clean chart. And nothing here on the SRs right now. I'll mark up the SR shortly. Breakout's currently running in profit. It's almost at its 50-point mark. So breakout is right there, pushing up a little further, almost at the 50 points. Broke right past liquidity right there. Breakout hit full TP for 100 or 50 points right there. 100 points are still pushing, but the 50 points have hit. Huge spike back to the downside right here. As you guys can see, a lot of manipulation and price movement. Price shot up super hard, came right back down. Looking over here at the market profile, we have a pretty nice rejection off the bottom end right here. Nice rejection off the value highs. Price is climbing up higher. So I'll adjust this a little bit for the 100 points. I'll come back to the breakout in a few. Breakout hit TP right there. Price is still pushing up. Let me go on market opening price right here. Actually, wait, this is the opening price. That was a pre-market candle. Okay, never mind, guys. Sorry, I thought that was, it looked like the breakout, it looked like the opening candle because it was moving so heavily, but that was a pre-market candle right there. So actually the breakout for today was actually a sell because the pre-market candle was so big. Sorry guys, I got super confused on that. I was trying to see like why it was so big, but that was actually the 629 candle. So the breakout for today was actually a sell. Thanks, Brian, for confirming that. Yeah, Brian said, Brian confirmed it right here. The breakout for today was actually a sell, guys, because that wasn't the breakout that wasn't the opening candle. I thought this was the opening candle because it pushed so high right here, and I was like, oh, market's open. I guess I just missed the open. But this here was a push to the upside. So this candle here was bigger than 50 points, so you're supposed to flip it. So the breakout for today was actually a sell, and it's still running right now. That's such a crazy candle right there for pre-market. Because it was moving pretty slow, and the 629 candle here pushed super heavily. So sorry guys, that was my bad. I totally jumped it with the analysis right there. I thought market was open already, but that was a 629 candle. So it's actually a sell for the breakout, depending if you guys took it or not. And market actually opened on this kind of wicky candle right here. This candle with a huge wick on the bottom side. So let's go ahead and take a look at our analysis again. So let's take a look at market profile. Market profile over here, we have a bottom rejection off the value high right here, these two red lines. Looking at the 30-minute, we have a huge bottom rejection right here off the value high as well and the point of control. We have a rejection off the point of control here on the 1 hour. We have a rejection right here off the volume profile off the point of control. We have a rejection right here off the whole number as well, off the 42,000 price point. So it looks like price is kind of similar to where it was yesterday. It's at 42,000 still. This is where it was during yesterday's live session. I'm gonna go over here to the 1 hour, mark up some zones. Again, if you guys have these blue strips on your chart, just go to your chart settings, go to electronic trading hours background, click, go to this opacity right here and just put 0 to take it off. It's a new setting for TradingView. They didn't really announce it. They just kind of put it up there. This is the 1 hour support, I'm assuming. All right, so here are the 1 hour support resistance zones. So we got a lot of confluences here for buys. So we have rejection right here off the support zone. This is the 1 hour support. Rejection over here off the whole number, 42,000. Rejection off the volume profile. Rejection off the point of control. Rejection off the value high point of control. Rejection off the point of control right here. And price is still climbing up. So we had an opportunity right here at 632 for an MPSV2, but it happened like way too early. Obviously, I wouldn't have chased into this position right here. We had a buy signal right here. Actually, I take that back. The MPS came up pre-market right here at 629. So regardless of the fact, there wouldn't be an entry for MPS because it was too early. Let me check the news for today. So for today, we have we just have gas stock change at 7:30, which is every Wednesday, and then we have the Fed rate decision at 11 o'clock. So 7:30 today, we have gas stock change. This happens every Wednesday, so it's not something unusual. We have the buyers in control right here. if the seller swing price back down. So what we need right now is we need a retracement. Price here is pushed up quite a bit from this area right here. So price was consolidating for a bit and then shot straight up. The breakout today, depending on where you took the breakout. So like the breakout, if you took the actual breakout, which was for a buy, a sell over here, actually. I called it for a buy initially because I thought this was the opening candle, but it wasn't. This was the 1629 candle. So if you took that when I called it for a buy, you would have hit TP for 50 points. And then if you took the actual breakout here for a sell, you would have hit this for 50 points as well. So a 50-point breakout hit for the day. Didn't really matter which direction you took, depending on when you followed my analysis. Both of them kind of played through right there. I'm going to mark this as a liquidity target. Liquidity target, one more down here. So basically what I'm looking for here, guys, is I'm looking for a sell signal to come up. Once the sell signal comes up and we confirm the retracement, we can possibly start looking for sells, or we can look for the continuation back to the upside. Looking over here at the confluences, we don't really have many confluences here for a sell. There's no rejections right here off the zone. This is the value high. Price is coming down from the value high, but no wick rejections. We just got price kind of faking out back down below. Here on the 30-minute, we do have a rejection right here off the value high. 1 hour, we have a rejection right here off the value high. Volume profile, there's nothing there. We don't have a rejection here off the clean chart, but it is faking out off this whole number. We do have a rejection right here off the whole number on the 4250 though. So this might be a bounce back up. I do want to see that sell signal though. If I get the sell signal, I can look for an NPS to the upside. But right now, we don't really have too many confluences here for a sell very much. So this right here is the 1 hour support level. This right here is the 1 hour resistance level. Sections right here off the bottom side on the clean chart. Nothing on the volume profile. Rejection right here off the value high, but it is pushing back up higher. Looks like I might have to wait until 7 o'clock for entry because we just don't have anything here yet. If anything, price might just start to consolidate around this area. I mean, it's a possibility. It might consolidate, it might not. You guys saw what happened yesterday, right? So, I mean, this might be a consolidation zone. Who knows? So we'll kind of wait and see. Hey Sam, morning Trillium. Yeah, it looks like we might get some consolidation right here. I don't really like the consolidating markets, but I mean, it is what it is. I can't really, we can't do anything about it. So if the market here consolidates, that's fine. We'll just have to play with the consolidating market and then wait for this to, actually break out of this area. So we got price kind of bouncing off the value high right here on the 1 minute. Never mind, take that back. Price was bouncing off it. Now it came back down. So you can see here on the 30-minute, price is having trouble getting past this value high. It's trying to get past it, but it just does not have any luck right now, which is fine because I don't want it to go past it yet. I want it to pull back, and then I want to get that sell signal, right? I want it to pull back here, give me that sell signal, break through, and then come back higher, right? So looks like price is respecting the range here that I drew up to some extent. So the thing here that you want to be careful for, guys, is be careful for the fake out. So you guys remembered yesterday, right? Yesterday we had price kind of bouncing between the range, faked out, came back down, faked out, came back up, then it finally broke through. It's kind of like a messed up head and shoulders, right? Like kind of special head and shoulders right there, or inverted head and shoulders. So look at the fake out right there. Price is coming back down into the range. It's doing exactly what we expected. This is kind of very similar to yesterday's market. So Looks like we got to sit here for a bit. The thing is, there's not really much news for today except for the interest rate. So like this is a problem because the interest rate decision is coming out today at 11 o'clock. People might just be sitting back, right? They're kind of doing what we're doing. They're just sitting back waiting for the news here to kind of play out so that they can kind of identify which direction price is going to go. So I mean, it's all good. Like I said, what I said yesterday and what a lot of people confirmed, it's like Jonathan messaged me yesterday. He said yesterday really helped him with testing his discipline. Because when you're in a sideways market like this is going to test your discipline, right? You're going to want to hop into trades. Like even though you don't trade sideways strategies, you're going to try to hop into trades on when the market is kind of bouncing between here, right? I've seen people do that. You try to hop in at the bounce from the bottom. You try to hop in from the bounce from the top. That's a strategy. So if you want to trade that way, I mean, feel free. But if that's not your normal way of trading, I don't recommend you guys, start a new strategy just here because you think price is going to bounce. Because the thing is, price can easily fake out, stop you out, and come back in. Right? That's happened to me so many times where I'm like, okay, I'm going to take the buy or the sell whenever price bounces here. As soon as I take the buy, what happens? Price comes up, shoots through, and then comes back down. And I end up getting screwed. It's basically the small head and shoulders. Yeah, Wes said session might be lame today. There's FOMC later today. Yeah, the interest rate decision is kind of what's causing people to be on caution today. It was expected. The Fed interest rate decision is going to it's going to affect everybody today. It's going to affect people in the crypto market. It's going to affect people in the bonds market. It's going to affect people in the mortgage market, everywhere really, because that interest rate decision is going to dictate, where we're going to be going for the next couple months now. From the news, I followed the news earlier from today. On Bloomberg, they basically said that we're expecting maybe 2 cuts from now until December. Probably not today, but over the next couple months, we're probably gonna get a cut because inflation is going up. So we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of moving pieces going on. Inflation is going up, recession is near, a collapse of the market is being talked about. Trump is pushing these tariffs. There's so many things going on around the world. Also, the thing with Ukraine, they're trying to get a ceasefire with Ukraine going. Oil's prices are going to go up. So there's just a lot of things going on that is going to affect the market. So it's just something that you guys want to maybe keep in mind moving forward. There's no one thing to focus on, right? If you follow the news, there's a lot of stuff going on. So I'll see if there's any breaking news over here. Hamas claims Israel strikes kills Gaza aid worker. German MP approves 1 trillion defense spending boost. Nothing here is really directly correlated with what we're looking for right now. So I'm just looking over here at the top news events, see if there's anything specific that may have an impact today, aside from the Fed news, right? The Fed news is everybody's looking at the Fed news. Yeah, I think like probably this is something that's kind of big because Nvidia is in YM. So Nvidia stock loses steam. Stock stems loses as GDC is Wall Street analysis, comfortable with long-term AI demand. Yeah, so the thing, like before, if you guys remember, AI was like huge, right? AI was like the thing that everybody was kind of talking about, everything that everybody was focusing on. The thing that with Trump now president, AI isn't really the thing now because we have a lot more important things to worry about, right? We have World War III probably happening this year or not, or next year. There's a lot of different things happening throughout the world. So AI isn't really like the biggest thing. If you guys remember, like the AI chips were like the big thing that everyone was kind of betting on. That's why Nvidia joined YM. The AI chips aren't as important anymore. What's important is that the economy is kind of, well, I don't think the economy is going to go through a collapse, but that's kind of what everybody's saying. Everyone's saying that we're going to go through a recession, the economy is going to collapse, the market's going to collapse, stock market's going to crash, etc. There's just a lot of panic in the market. If you guys remember for the past couple of weeks, the market was kind of crashing down super heavily. And we recovered for the most part. I mean, not completely, but we did recover pretty decently. My investment accounts are slightly back up again. They're not super down, but I mean they're also not super great. But yeah, I'm just holding on tight right now because I'm not sure what's going to happen next with the market as we continue with all this stuff going on. But all right, so another fake out right here, guys. The market's doing exactly what I warned you guys about. So I said be careful when you guys are taking trades within these bounces because I think prices, and look at this huge candle right here. This candle just spiked up about 60 points. Yeah, 50 points, 50, 60 points. So like I said earlier, guys, I personally wouldn't recommend trading in the range here because see how these fake outs are like, they're basically trapping traders in both directions. For example, price broke and closed above the range right here, then it came crashing right back down. And then same with this right here, price came down here, faked out, trapped the sellers, and then spiked right back up into the range with this huge candle right here, which can easily stop out anybody who's day trading or scalping YM, right? It's a 60-point move right there. So unless your stop loss is super wide, you could have easily gotten wiped out on this right here. And this thing is pushing back up higher. So we don't have any sell signal here yet. The buyers have been in control ever since. Price is still pushing up higher. So let's go back and take a look at everything here. Looking at the 1-minute market profile, there's no rejections there. Price is currently at the point of control from yesterday. That's not today's point of control, that's yesterday's point of control. So the 1-minute chart right here, price is currently sitting at the point of control from yesterday. This is basically where most of the trading happened yesterday in this area. Looking over here on the 30-minute, again, price is here at the point of control, like we talked about on the 1-minute. We have a nice rejection right here off the bottom end. Rejection off the point of control from today and the value high from today. Looking over here on the 1 hour, we don't really have much going on here. This is why I'm kind of waiting until 7 o'clock because I want this 1 hour candle here to close. We do have a push off the point of control right here. So once we get to this point, I mean, price might sit at the point of control from yesterday, and you might get something like this. Bounce and retest, push back up higher, or the opposite direction. Bounce and retest, push back lower. This is going to be a key area to look at right here. We have about 12 minutes for this candle to close. In about 12 minutes, this 1 hour candle will close. If it closes below the point of control, we can possibly look for bounce this way. If this here closes above the point of control, then we can possibly see a bounce this way. It's not an entry, but it's more so a confluence to look to the upside or the downside following the 1 hour candle. Looking over here on the volume profile, there's nothing there right now. Price did bounce off the value high, but that's about it. Looking over here at the clean chart, we got price right here possibly bouncing off this full number, which is the 42,150. We'll see. I mean, there's not really much here to work with. We got the 1 hour resistance level right here. Let me check oil. Now that we have like stuff going on in the world, I think oil might be a good thing to look at. So oil is going to be it's going to be affected with what happens with Ukraine and Russia. I mean, the ceasefire is probably most likely going to happen. It's just a matter of time until it does happen. But yeah, oil prices are probably going to go up. There's an MPSV2 that happened right here for oil. Nice push to the upside. I think we were talking about how like 25-point moves, or no, not 25-point moves, maybe. This was a pre-market move here, so this here was also pre-market. I'd have to see what the range would be here for oil, but if the oil prices go up, I think the volatility will also increase and it'll be a good asset to trade. So I'll come back and take a look at this later once market's kind of in full swing. It is open right now, but you can see here that the buy entry hasn't came up yet, so I'll come back and take a look at this a little later. Anyways, back to YM. So price over here came up, bounced off this liquidity and session right there. So basically another fake out, but a big fake out. So price was ranging right here, faked out up here, faked out down here, came back up, faked out, and now it's coming back into the range. Bounced right there off the sessions directly. So exactly off the sessions there. We don't have a sell signal here yet, so there's nothing here for us to take. Like I said earlier, we need to have that sell signal before we can even start looking for new buys, because we need that confirmation of retracement. So over here on the 1 minute market profile, you can see price basically came up, faked out above this area, and it came back to the point of control. Looking at 30-minute right here, nice projection off the point of control. 1 hour right here, nice projection off the point of control. So like I said, I'm waiting for this 1 hour candle here to close. Once this 1 hour candle here closes, I'll be looking for opportunities here, because I'm going to be having that balance off the 1 hour time frame and off the 30-minute. Projection right here off the whole number, 42,150. Price is coming back down. Again, I'm looking for that sell signal. Once I get that sell signal, I can look for the retracement and possible continuation back up, or full on reversal back to the downside. Looking over here at the SR chart, price is currently at the 1 hour resistance level. So we have a pending sell signal here on this candle, if you guys can see. Pending sell signal on that one. Again, like I said, I'm probably gonna wait until 7 o'clock for my entry to come up. I kind of like that we're waiting. We're not really waiting, but we're looking at the whole numbers or the whole times for confluences, because it makes a big difference when you're looking at confluences on the higher time frames. Right, the 1 hour confluence and the 30-minute confluence makes a big difference. All right, so that sell signal there is it's trying to close, but it's not having trouble. It's having a lot of trouble kind of getting down. Looks like, if anything, we might have a new zone up here. So we had a range kind of running down here. Looks like we might have another range here. It's literally exactly how yesterday's market was. If you guys remember, this is pretty much what happened. Price pushed up, it was in a range, pushed up, created another range, and then it ended up ranging above it like this. I mean, we'll see. I think once this hour candle closes, it's going to start to have some movement, hopefully out of this area. Yeah, maybe up and out of this area here. There's a lot of sessions here though, so I mean, it's going to be hard. We have to find an entry right down the middle right here. I'll find an entry right down the middle right here. Otherwise, I mean, there's just no entries coming up right now, as you guys can see. Yeah, there's just nothing here. We have so looking at this MPS V2, we had an engulfing V1 right here. This MPS V2 was an A++, so there was no A++ after it. There was an engulfing right here that was at the sessions, but that wouldn't be an A++ because this one already, there was already 3 here that came up. Nice, sounds like full TP 25. You got out at 20. Smart move. I would have thought the same thing. Let's see. Shiv is asking, was there a big market order when that big candle happened, Sean? So let's see. This big candle happened at 6:46. Let me check the time and sales. Yeah, there was. There was a big 26 contract, and then there was so the big 26 contract came in at 42,082. So 42,082, which is right here. Yeah, so as soon as price started climbing up, it piggybacked right here. So there were pending orders waiting right here. Basically, price was we had the big spike right here, and then as soon as it hit this 4282 number, 26 contracts got filled, and then it shot up even further, and then they started to chase it. Like people started bandwagoning onto it because it was like 26 contracts at here, and then right here was like between this area between 4286 and up here, more orders started following it. There was like one big order, or sort of big order. It's 26 contracts, not a huge order, and then it started climbing up from there. and then someone started to just flood in like 2 contracts. That's why it started pushing up higher, and then it died out right there. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Shiv, because I don't even look at that as much as I should when these big contracts come in. Yeah, if it was like a 100 contract move, then the bias here would be nice because you can have an idea that okay, price is gonna keep climbing up higher. But it was just it was a decently sized move, and then people followed on top of it. All right, guys, still no sell signal. I should have said, wait, is that on NinjaTrader you're seeing that data, or is it an add-on? It's not NinjaTrader, but you have to pay for the level 2 data. So you got to pay a little more for the specific data for level 2, but it is built in. It's called time and sales. I have 2 tabs open. So I have one tab where it's like the regular time and sales, and then I have one tab with just the bigger orders, anything above 2 contracts. Because the regular display shows like pretty much everything that comes in, and it moves pretty fast. Yeah, so you just have to put your data and then pay for I think it's like $10. It's not super expensive. I also don't think it's super necessary. It's a good add-on to like if you want to see the orders coming in, but I wouldn't say it's like super necessary. If you want to try it for like 1 month and just pay for 1 month to see if it helps you, I mean, you can do that. I'm thinking about even taking it off because I don't really use it that much. I use it to an extent, but not enough to where like I really need it. I thought I needed it for a second. I was for the most part I was getting it for the order flow, but the order flow here on Ninja is just it's not as useful as I thought it would be. CJ said, wait, what strat did Sam just take for 25 points? He caught a break and retest, CJ. But he caught that earlier. So I think he caught the break and retest to the downside when it bounced off this session right here. He just wrote it down quickly and then he pulled out. So he saw that break and retest, and I think he caught it down for like 20 points, and then he just pulled out of it. Yeah, it wasn't anything that I would have taken. I mean, it was a session bounce too, so a little tricky. Yeah, no MPSs yet. We're still looking for that sell signal to come up. We have about 2 minutes until this 1 hour candle closes. Like I said earlier, guys, depending on where this candle closes, if it closes above the point of control, like where it is right now, then I'm going to be looking for it to bounce off and push up higher. Or if it closes below, I'm looking for it to bounce below and push back lower. This is the point of control from yesterday. So looking at the 30-minute here, it's probably going to bounce off here. Or you can retest the upside. That's sort of what I see happening here. We finally got the sell signal coming up now. So let's see, we might see a break and retest off the 1 hour resistance. So price might come back down, bounce off there. That's just one thing. Here's a clean chart. Price might bounce off that whole number. All right, we got a few seconds here on this 1 hour time frame off the market profile. So like I said, depending on where it closes, it looks like it might close in the middle. So, I mean, this is a good and a bad thing. It's a good thing. Well, I'd say it's more of a good thing because we can have rejections on either end. And that's the bad thing too. So we don't really have a confluence here because, I mean, it can push down and we'll have rejection with the wick from the top end, or it can push up and we'll have rejection from the bottom end. So it doesn't really matter which direction it pushes, we'll have a confluence either way. So if you see this here push down, see how it's pushing down right now? We're going to have a wick rejection off the point of control right here. So it doesn't really matter. And then vice versa, if price pushes up the other way, See, price goes back up, then we'll have a rejection off the point of control down here. So it's yeah, and then right there now. See, we have now a rejection off the bottom end. So the 1 hour here is not going to be super, super useful. I think the 30-minute will be a little more useful because if price does push up, we'll get a wick rejection right here off this bottom end, and we can look for possible buys. And same with the 1 minute here. So with the 1 minute, we can get something like this where price comes down, bounces off the point of control, and comes back up. So I think ideally for today, I might be looking for some buys, but we'll see. I mean, we don't have to only stick to buys today, guys. Of course, if I get some confluences here for a sell, then obviously I'll look for a sell. Looking over here at the overall trend bias. So the 4 hour over here is still neutral. 1 hour is bullish. 30-minute is bullish. 10 minutes bullish. 5 minutes bullish. And the 1 minute is bullish. So overall here, it kind of looks pretty bullish overall with regard to the trend bias. Looking over here at the main chart, we still don't have that sell signal. We need that sell signal to start looking for entries. Doesn't matter if we're looking for sells or buys, but this buy leg over here is pretty much done with. We had the MPSV2 come up over here. We had the A++ set up. It's due for retracement. Whether it retraces or reverses, it's due for retracement. So we got nothing here on the 1 minute market profile. We got the rejection right here off the 30 minutes, bouncing off the point of control. We got a rejection right here on the 1 hour, bouncing off the point of control. Nothing on the volume profile. We have rejection right here off the whole number. This is the 42,150. And we have nothing here yet. There's no bounce off the resistance level. So again, guys, what I'm looking for here is I'm looking for that sell signal. Until that sell signal closes, we don't really have anything here to take. Today's kind of a slow day. It's what we expected, right? We have the Fed interest rate coming out later today at 11 o'clock. So it seems like a lot of people are probably just going to sit out and wait for that interest rate decision to come out. And then once it does come out, people are probably going to react to it. For me personally, I don't think there's going to be a change. I think today, that's what I was looking at on my on Bloomberg today. I was looking at Powell is going to, let me see if I can find it over here. I had it pulled up on Bloomberg earlier. Yeah, so Powell's not, people are just going to be looking for what Powell's going to say. I mean, that's really what's going to happen here. It's not going to be anything crazy. I think people are really going to be focusing on what Powell is going to. I'll put this over here real quick. Yeah, so investors look for Fed's take on growth after US bond rally. So, I mean, I can't see it here. I don't know why I did this. I was able to see it on my other screen, but when I moved it to this screen, it made me pay for it. But on Bloomberg, basically, people are going to dissect what Powell's saying. It doesn't matter what the interest rate is going to be because it's not going to change today. But people are going to focus on what Powell says. Like basically, he's going to try to be optimistic, but a lot of people know that it's going to be tougher to be optimistic because we are in super high inflation right now. So just something to keep in mind, guys. If you guys have a Bloomberg access, you guys can. I have Bloomberg access, but I don't know why it's not showing up. I don't want to log in. It's a hassle for me to log in. It's going to log me out of my other apps. But that's kind of the only thing that we have to look for today. You can see here the market here is super flat, super slow. Again, we have a sell signal here that's currently pending. But you guys can see these candles now are starting to get very slow, big wicks on both ends. Not exactly the type of market that you want to be getting into. Yeah, shifts. The crazy thing is tariffs haven't even settled in yet. So the next report is going to be crazy. Yeah, I agree, Shiv, 100%. Because the tariffs are supposed to go in next month, right? Or this month. I can't remember if it was this month or next month. I think they pushed it back 1 month. So, I think next month is probably going to be even crazier when the next reports come out. Because once the tariffs come out, we're going to go through like super, super inflation if the tariffs do get implemented. April 2nd. Yeah, thanks, Shiv. So you got to give it 3 months for the data to catch up. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if the tariffs are actually going to go through, guys. I think it's just it's a scare tactic by Trump. He's kind of bullying all these other countries to listen to him. So, I mean, don't quote me on it, but I do think the tariffs are a scare tactic by Trump. He's just trying to scare people into, or scaring these countries into like basically giving him what he wants, right? Because the thing is, we can definitely go through the tariffs, but it's gonna hurt us more than it hurts them for the most part. As much as like it's gonna be it's like I don't think a lot of people understand the gravity of like these tariffs. Like a lot of people are kind of like they're scared, but they're gonna be really scared once it actually goes through because everything's gonna be expensive. Literally everything's gonna be expensive. Like the housing market here is pretty bad. It was pretty bad during COVID. It's gonna be even worse because you can't really ship supplies here. I think like Trump was putting tariffs on like aluminum metal and like there's just a lot of things. If you guys really look into it, it's going to really affect the market, but not the market, but the world in general super heavily. It's going to be expensive to build houses. It's going to be expensive to buy gas. The groceries, I mean, they're already up there, but we don't really export that much stuff anyways. We could have that stuff here. But a lot of the other things, like for infrastructure, is going to, and obviously it's going to take a big toll on the market and the world in general. Yeah, Christian said agree. He's just playing the art of the deal. Shiv said, yeah, very interesting stuff. Timber is a big issue, and yeah, steel is key. I agree with you 100%. All right, so we got the buy signal here currently pending, guys. Like I said, I'm probably going to be looking for buys here because we do have confluences here for a buy. So nice confluence here on the 1 minute market profile. Same on the 30 minute, same on the 1 hour. Nothing here on volume profile. We don't have any rejections here off the clean chart yet, but we will probably have some as price continues to move along. We do have price kind of pushing up. The buy signal is pending on this candle. Not sure if it'll close, but we do have it pending right there. So we got this. Yeah, we are pretty much going to wait for this candle here to close, and it closed, no buy signal there. Yeah, Daniel said triple if it closes psych. Yeah, no, it did not close right there. It didn't close. So you can kind of see here, price is respecting the zone and also respecting the sessions right there. Right, the sessions are kind of acting like as a magnet right now, if you guys can see. If price closes below this black line right here, this is still going to be an MPSV2 for a sell. So I'll put the sellers in control from this point right here. Sellers have been pushing price down for a bit. So we had the buyers push price up from 614 up until about 654, so almost an hour. And then we have the sellers pushing price back down right here from about 655 until now, so about 10 minutes or so. Yeah, it's having trouble right here. Let's see, Lila said US no longer requiring shell corporations to disclose owners, no taxes. I know it's crazy, right? Taxes were just due this Monday, guys. If you guys have any S Corp, so S Corp taxes were due last Monday. If you guys just have an LLC taxes are due, I think, with your own personal taxes, so next month. But yeah, like what Lila said, it's crazy, like the whole business side of things too. It's like less oversight on businesses, which I mean is a good thing and it's a bad thing. Because if that becomes the case, then people are start to come up with more scam schemes out there. Because that's the whole point of FinCEN, right? They created FinCEN because they wanted to figure out who was the owners of these shell companies. So FinCEN, the business information, whatever it was, the thing that you have to file for, they put that in place so that you know who's the owner of the business. Trump's probably gonna get rid of that. That's a new law that just came into place this year or last year. So there's going to be a lot of change over the next 4 years, guys. So just what I always say, like, hang on tight, strap in because we're gonna have a lot of change happening. whether it be good, whether it be bad, it's, we just have to adapt with it. It's going to be crazy because we're going to have all this change for the next 4 years. And then once the next president comes in, it's probably going to be all taken apart again. So it's, it's a crazy time to be dealing with this stuff. We might have a crazy circus for the next 4 years. And then I think, depending on how people react to Trump's changes, it's either we're going to go backwards and then go back to where we were before Trump became president, or we're going to keep continuing with what he did. So kind of curious to see, what's going to happen over the next 4 years. It's going to be tough. Certainty the rate increase causes less import or business is moving to the US. Yeah, I agree with you too, sir, because it becomes more expensive for people to import, right? Money's more expensive when the rate increases. But we'll see. We'll just have to play by ear. I'm hoping that the market stays volatile, right? Because whatever's happening in the world, if the market stays volatile, we'll be able to keep making money consistently. If the market goes flat again, which I highly doubt, I don't think we're going to have a Biden era market. I think market's going to stay volatile. It's just right now people are scared to trade, so that's why there's nothing going on, because we have the interest rate data coming out. So that's why this year you can see it's pretty small, right? We have a very, very small range. Nothing going on. I think right now people are there's a lot of fear, so people aren't trading. But I think overall, the market will stay volatile. Because the thing that you guys have to understand is that Trump is always doing something new every week. So every time he does something new, the market's going to spike, right? We're going to have volatility spikes to the upside, volatility spikes to the downside. It's never a boring market for us. Compared to when Biden was president. When Biden was president, it was pretty much boring for a whole 4 years, right? Nothing was happening in the market. First year market was kind of volatile because we were coming off COVID, and then market just went flat for a good 2-3 years. So we'll see. Yeah, Lila said, buckle up. The elderly will suffer the most. That's why I trade to help my fam who are aging. Yeah, no, definitely, Lila. I think right now is a really good time if you want to get into trading, or if you know somebody who wants to get into trading, this is a good time to get into it, because you're going to experience these crazy market spikes, and you'll understand how to adapt to it, as we progress over the next couple of years. We're not even a year in with Trump yet. So, these crazy movements that have been happening over the past 2 weeks, if you can understand how these movements are happening and you can adapt to it, I think our MPS V2 is a good example of being able to adapt to a volatile market, right? Because you can see over here, the market was pretty volatile, but there's no entries, right? There's no entries here. So there's nothing for us to take here. We're kind of just sitting back. And then same with this over here. See how market's kind of just going sideways? We don't have any entries here. So this MPS V2 strategy, it allows us to kind of just sit back and wait. And you don't have to fumble into any trades, because there's really nothing there to take. There's an MPS V2 that just came up right here. Let me go. I'm going to mark it up for you guys. I'm not going to take it, of course, but I will mark it up for you guys here. There's just no confluences for me to take a sell. So there's nothing here on the 1 minute market profile. There's nothing here on the 30-minute market profile. There's something here possibly on the 1 hour market profile. We have rejection off point of control. That's just one confluence. There's nothing here on the volume profile. There's one candle rejection right here off the clean chart. It's rejecting off the 42,150 price point. So we got 2 confluences here, just 2 confluences, right? Rejection right here off the point of control, and rejection right here off the whole number. That's about it. Nothing here on the support resistance. So this is not enough confluence for me to take a sell. So I'm obviously not taking the sell here because I don't have confluences for me to want to take that trade. So again, that's another thing that we'll cover today during the mentoring session. So just another reminder, guys, we're having a group mentoring session today at 3 p.m. Pacific time. The group mentoring session is open to everyone. So if you guys want to come in, ask questions, if you guys want to understand how this MPS strategy V2 works, hop in. I'm going to be going over I'll show you how to set up the charts exactly how I have it. So I'll show you how I set this up with the trend bias. I'll show you how I set up the breakout. Doesn't matter because it's just a breakout chart. But I'll show you how to set up my main chart. set a market profile here on the 1 minute, market profile on the 30 minute, 1 hour, volume profile, clean chart, of course, with the levels and the support and resistance here. I'll show you how I mark all this stuff up. So today's mentoring session is going to be a good refresher for everybody. A lot of good information for new traders or people who are new to the group so that you guys understand what we're doing here. So if you guys can attend at 3 o'clock, it'll be posted on the Discord. So just make sure you're on the Discord. If you're not on the Discord, just scroll down on the YouTube channel. It's in the description. And yeah, we'll cover everything for the most part. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, there's no confluences here for me to take the sell. So I didn't take the sell here. And I'm glad I did it because price ended up going the opposite direction. So this is why it's key. It's not required, but it's key for me that I have those confluences there, because if I don't, then there's just no point in me taking these entries, because I'm probably going to take some losses if I don't follow my confluences. So, all right, we got price here again. It's still going sideways. There's like literally nothing going on here. This is the current range now. So like I said earlier, guys, this session right here is acting as a magnet, right? Price pushes away, pulls back to the sessions, pushes below, pulls back to the sessions, pushes down, back to the sessions, back to the sessions, back to the sessions. Not really too much here going on. So we're looking for this buy signal to close. For me personally, I want the buy signal to close. Once it closes, I'll look for price to kind of push up a little bit. Like I said earlier, we have the point of control right here. I had a rejection off right there. One thing. Looking at the 30 minute, we have a rejection right here off the point of control. Right, so that's a confluence that I'm looking for. Same with the 1 hour over here. We have a rejection on both ends. We have a bottom rejection and we have a top rejection. But the 30 minute shows a bottom rejection, so it goes in confluence with the analysis there. Nothing here off the volume profile. What I'd like to see here on the clean chart is possibly break and retest off this whole number, the 42,150. And that's about it for there. All right, so we got the buy signal just closed right here. Buy signal finally closed. Let's see, Sam said, I like price to break from consolidation. I agree. Possibly break and retest right here, Sam. Right off the session again. Break, retest, continuation. Or possibly a fake out right here. Let's see, CJ said taking MPSV2s near the sessions don't work out for me, so I definitely skipped out on that one. ATR dropped 5 points as well. Yeah, the market's actually really, really slow today compared to the previous days. It's at 20 ATR right now. So if you guys remember yesterday and the day before, or not really yesterday, but yesterday we were at 30. Last week we're at 40, 50 ATR. Volatility is really high. Nothing's really going on here. It's kind of just a sideways market. Hey, what's up, Craig? I know, man, it's been a while. Good to hear from you and good to see you here. Looks like you're back to trading, hopefully. Or maybe you're just here to hang out for a bit. But yeah, it's good to see a lot of old faces back here in the chat. We're still pushing, Craig. So if you haven't been following, we're still pushing. It's been a good year so far, though. Pretty good year overall. Yeah, I think looking at the stats so far, so yeah, for the year so far, we're pretty good. I mean, the March we've been pretty good on some pretty nice wins. February pretty good. I mean, we're net positive pretty much every month for this year so far, so that's a good sign. And then for the year so far, pretty solid. I mean, 262,000, profit factor 2.74, win rate 81.81. So overall, it's been pretty solid. I mean, we're pushing. We're adapting with the market, trying to figure out, where we can get our ends from. But today's just different. Today's a slow day. We got the Fed rate coming out, so It's been kind of slow just for this week though. Glenn said price still on the sessions plus low ATR. I know it's the low ATR is trash. It's gonna make it tough to go for those 30 points. I might have to move stop loss and profit at like 20 because these 30 points it's just too far out, especially with this low ATR. It's kind of tough. Let's see. Craig said anything much change? Not really. I mean, the market's more volatile now, obviously, because Trump's president. So the market's volatile. I mean, other than that, there's not really too much that I would say would be, considered a change. It's a good thing though. The volatility is good for these scalp entries. They're good because market's moving. It's just today's really slow compared to every other day. If you were on the charts last week, you probably saw like it was moving like 100-point candles. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, Brock said, beautiful thing about the market, whether good or bad news, there's opportunities either way. Yeah, all right, so we have a possible MPSV2 setting up right here. If this candle closes red, we can start setting up. Yeah, Craig said I'm still locked in to pivot scalps. Yeah, there's a pivot scalp right here, Craig. Hit full TP. Price came down, retraced. Pivot scalp right there. All right, so we have a possible MPSV2 setting up right here. Let me go to my confluences real quick. 1 minute rejection off the point of control from earlier, rejection off the point of control on the 30, rejection off the point of control on the 1 hour, nothing on the volume profile, nothing here on the clean chart right now, and nothing really on the SRs. So the only thing we really have here is rejection off the point of control on the higher time frames. Again, I'll be looking to take this entry here, but this candle has to for sure close green. It can't be bouncing back and forth at the last second. So this right here, not really the type of movement that I like, right? I want it to be for sure green. It has to like definitely close green. Candle's closing in about 5 seconds. So I'll be looking to maybe get in right here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna get in right here.
Order submitted.
So let me see.
Order filled.
Got some I mean, the entry wasn't super great on all the accounts. Let me see, the exit should be at the 13. Let's drag this down by 1, I think. Down a little bit. All right, so we got price kind of pushing up right here. Target is at 42,213. Entry is at 43. Yeah, my entry wasn't the best. I got in like about 2 points off, but it's okay. Slightly off on the entry right there. I mean, obviously there's gonna be slippage here and there. I think 20 points already hit, possibly. You can see 20 points right there. Line there for you guys. Yeah, Jonathan went for 20 points because of the low ATR. That's completely fine. Let's go back and take a look at the confluences over here again. So the 30-minute looks good. It's pushing right there off the point of control. 1 hour is looking good, pushing off the point of control as well. Volume profile is, I mean, there's nothing there. Clean chart price is currently at the whole number right here at the 42,200. So what I would like to see here is possibly break and retest off this area and push up higher from there. And I'd like to see price push up to the resistance right here. This is going to be 1 hour resistance for the SR chart. The only thing here that I don't like is the volatility is a little flat. The volatility kind of just died down right there. 1 hour looks good. So we got a break and retest right here off the pivot. It's a good sign right there. But like I said, the volatility here, the ATR is very, very low. It's currently at 20. So I mean, 20 would probably be the ideal target to get out from, because each candle here is just moving kind of slow. Yeah, the 20 points already got hit, Brock. Got hit right there. The black line is the 20 points. So the 30 points, I mean, price is still running right now. Confluences look good though. Let's see if the volatility picks back up. So we have a possible engulfing candle right here setting up. Again, the thing that I don't like here is the candle price action. So we got engulfing right there. It's back at the 20 points again. Volatility is just pretty flat. Let's see. 23. I'm gonna adjust it right here to get out right there as the 20 points. I think 20 points would be ideal because the volatility here is just too slow. I don't like how the volatility here is super flat. So I'm just gonna get out at the 20. Check the confluences real quick. So looking over here again, we still have the rejection of the point of control. Rejection of the point of control right there. There's nothing on the volume profile. Clean chart right here. Price is kind of just sitting down the middle. It's bouncing off the whole number right there from earlier. Again, I'm still looking for the price to hit the resistance up here off the SR chart. And the ATR is getting lower. So ATR right now is currently at 19. So it's gone a little flat. There's just no volatility today. All right, we got about 2 minutes till 7:30. So I'm gonna wait for that 7:30 candle. Hopefully the volatility will pick back up around then. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty flat right now, as you guys can see. Not really much going on. So we got 20 seconds left on this candle. And then after this, we have another 1 minute until the 7:30 candle. So once we get to that 7:30 candle, this 30-minute candle will close for the market profile. And then we'll kind of see if this here ends up maybe climbing up higher from here, push away from the point of control. Let's see, CJ got out for partial. Yeah, CJ said got in at 42,186 for 20 points. And you don't want to keep holding with the red momentum pending. Yeah, the volatility here is just really, really low. Brock said the gap between entry and liquidity wasn't solid. It was 9-ish points. That's why Brock got out for 10. Nice work, Brock. Yeah, let's check the liquidity here. So there's some liquidity gaps around this area. 30-minute. This count has about 10 seconds left on it. Kind of curious to see how the next one closes. Let's get that push back up. So it's currently running right now. Let's see, it's still running, but the volatility here is just really low. So it's really low right there. This is also gas stock change news. Candle right there. It's not really meant to push price very much, but Got gas stock change right there. So again, 30-minute candle right here. I'm looking for this to push a bit higher. The 1 hour candle is still running, of course. Volume profile, there's nothing there. Clean chart, nothing going on here either. Price is kind of just sitting right here down the middle. It's sitting between the 42,200 and the 42,150. And the SR chart again right here, I'm looking for it to push up into the resistance point. So you got price pushing back up right there. I'm going for that 20 points. That is right there. And there's nothing going on. The volatility here is just pretty much flat. The ATR is back to being at 18, so it's really low right now. Yeah, this is, we're probably gonna get a sideways market for like a pretty long while now. Not too much. So you got price pushing back up. The ATR is really, really low. This just means that each candle is moving like less than 20 points. So it's probably just gonna keep going sideways right here. So a couple targets here for the clean chart. I'm looking for price to hit the whole number, which is the 42,200. For the SR, I'm looking for it to hit the resistance right there. But because the volatility is so low, I'm not really getting that. You guys can see these candles here. There's just nothing going on. This kind of reminds me of obviously, the Biden era. We always joke around about it, but this is kind of how it was for the past 4 years. We literally had this sideways market every single day for like the past 4 years. Price is pushing up. Got really close to my TP right there. It's almost there. All right, I'm out.
Target filled.
Target filled. I probably could have went for the 30, but obviously I'm not going to take that risk here. This is just not the day to take that risk. Yeah, solid. So, all right. With that said, I'm happy with those profits for the day. Not exactly, not the full move, but I'm happy with my 20 points. As you guys can see, didn't really panic here because, so here's the thing, guys. If you know the price is going to go up, like the thing is, I already knew the price was going to go up, right? Well, how did I know that? I had my confluences in place, right? That's why, like, it's key that you trade when you have confluences in place, because if you don't have confluences in place, you're gonna be stressed out, right? You're gonna be worried. You don't know where price is gonna go. So I already pointed out right here, right? Where was my goal? The whole number. I knew price was gonna go there. Where was my goal here? The resistance. Price hasn't gotten there yet, but I wasn't worried because I wasn't against my confluences. Everything told me price was gonna push up. It was like, just hang tight, don't stress out, just hang tight. If it hits your stop loss, it hits your stop loss. But at least the analysis here, you're letting it play through. So decent profit on that trade. I mean, not great, but I mean, I'll take it, right? I'll take what I can right now, especially because we can't really do anything about it. So here, let me go and take a screenshot of my profits so far. All right. I mean, it's decent. You guys will see my profits here. It wasn't groundbreaking, but profit's profit, and I'll take that. I was really hoping we get like 2 entries today, but it's all good. I'm not going to FOMO. And especially because the ATR is so low, there's really no point. Think about it. All right, so it looks like the 30 points would have gone, or no, it's still running actually. So the 30 points still have not gotten hit yet, but it is still currently running. I'm actually glad I got out at the 20 because you guys can see over here, it's still having trouble pushing past. Um, I think in the future, I do have to make my adjustments to the TP because this is this is a huge factor. If you guys can see the ATR, see, because the ATR is below 20, we barely got to the 20 points. So if we're aiming for 30, you guys can see how that could be a problem, right? So we'll keep an eye out on that. I think after today, the market might pick back up. It's just because the Fed interest rate is coming out today. So let's go ahead and take a look over here real quick at the. So today we have the Fed interest rate, then tomorrow we have some high impact news events. We have jobless claims, initial jobless claims, continuing jobless claims. The reason why I think market volatility is going to pick back up is because after today, people are going to react to this news, right? So whatever Powell says today, people are going to be like, okay, if that's the case, market's going to go up. If this is the case, market's going to go down. So you're going to have a lot of people bandwagoning onto the buys and or sells. So with that said, I think the volatility is going to be a little bit higher on Thursday and then okay on Friday. There's no news on Friday, so that's something to keep in mind. Let me check Forex Factory. Yeah, there's not really much here on Friday. Friday's a flat day, but I think Thursday is going to be pretty volatile. So hopefully tomorrow we can lock in like maybe 2 trades. I mean, ideally, that's kind of what I'd be aiming for, maybe 1 or 2 trades. Kind of balance out this week. And then hopefully from there, let me see what's coming next week. Let's see some more of what's next week. Okay, so next week is it's kind of mixed. There's like inflation news. So we have flash manufacturing PMI on Monday, flash services PMI, that's like inflation news. And then we have CB consumer confidence on Tuesday, new home sales. It's sort of inflation news, it's overall economy. Wednesday, we have core durable goods, so it's just retail stuff. Thursday, we have final GDP, unemployment claims. And then next Friday, we have a core PCE price index. So we have basically some inflation news next week. And then the week after that, we have NFP because it's going to be April already. Can you guys believe that? It's crazy. This whole year is flying by. We're in week 3 of March already. So next week is going to be week 4. And the week after that is going to be April week 1. So we're going to be in April already. And it's going to be back to NFP. So, exciting stuff to come. And we'll kind of just obviously play by ear, kind of trying to figure out what we can do here. But I think the volatility should pick back up after today. The thing is, when you have a big news event like the interest rate today, a lot of people just sit out of the market, right? I think there's not a lot of people trading today. That's why the volatility here is so low. Like the ATR is down to 17, guys. At this point, I don't even think you should be trading. The ATR is extremely low right now. I don't think this is a good time to really, take anything. Or if you do want to take something, take it with a smaller TP. I think that's all I can say. Take it with a smaller TP, but the problem with that is if you take it with a smaller TP, you should also be taking it with a smaller stop loss. So you kind of put yourself in a tight position. You don't want to have your range too tight. Like for example, if this here was 2020, it still would work. But like now that it's going down to 17, if you want to do 15-15, you're kind of pushing it, right? Like the range there is just getting way too tight at that point. So, I mean, it's just up to you guys. If you guys want to keep trading, feel free to keep trading. Otherwise, I mean, for me personally, I would not. I just would not. It's just not worth it. Unless you wait until later. So I think what you would have to do is probably wait until closer to 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, it's gonna be pretty crazy. I think you're gonna see a huge spike. So look for the FOMC news and you're gonna see some big spikes around 11 o'clock, maybe like 100-point spikes. Maybe not 100-point spikes because there's not going to be a change, but depending on what Powell says, that's going to affect the market, of course. So let me just put this over here real quick. I will just put this right here. So I will send that right there. We have some team profits. Jonathan over here locked in 282. Nice work, Jonathan. Solid work right there. Perfect. And other than that, let me post my profits real quick. I'll post the week profits later on once we have like more profits for this week. There's just no point in me sharing it at the moment because there's not much to share. We only took 2 trades this week. All right. So here are my profits for that trade there. Not as big as what I'm used to doing because I only got out at 20 points, but you can see over here, here are all my accounts. And here's the rest of my accounts. So pretty decent. I mean, locked in, I'd say, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably like 20,000 for the day. Not very much. Not as much as what I'm used to. So like around like 15 to 20,000 right here. I'm just gonna guesstimate, right? Because I got 20 Apex accounts here. They all locked in close to 1,000. So it's obviously be closer to like 20,000. And then the smaller accounts over here locked in about maybe 3,000, 4,000. And then the smaller accounts down here for Tradeify and Perdia locked in about maybe another 1,000. So we'll say about like 20 to 22,000 for the day. So not too bad. Decent win for the day. We're getting closer to 8 o'clock. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hop into the chat. I'm not done here yet, but if you guys have any questions, I can answer whatever you guys need help with. Again, we are having the group mentoring session today at 3 p.m. So if you guys want to hop in on that, feel free. It's open to everybody. You don't have to be part of the premium. I'm going to answer questions for everybody here. So it'll be posted on the YouTube. If you're on the YouTube, just make sure that you like and subscribe to the video so that you'll get notifications when I go live. Sometimes I go on random mentoring sessions. Like a lot of times I'll go on one-on-one sessions with people in our premium and I don't tell anybody. But if you like and subscribe and turn on notifications on YouTube, you'll get an email whenever I go live. I think a lot of people like when I do those one-on-one sessions because you guys can really see me connect with, the person that I'm mentoring. Because when you're doing a group setting, it's a little difficult because I'm answering so many questions. But when I'm just teaching one person, you guys can really understand it. And the odds are these people typically have like the same question you have, right? I feel like there's a lot of people out there who are they're just nervous to ask questions or they're just scared to ask. And usually these other people that I'm mentoring will have the same exact questions you have. So if you just sit in, you'll pretty much get your question answered without having to ask it. Let's see. Yeah, Glenn said balls of steel. Had to close early, wasn't his best entry. Yeah, I know it wasn't my best entry either, Glenn. I got in at 2 points off. So I got in at 2 points past the actual entry. So like of course I lost some money on that, but it's okay. And then the ATR was like way too low. Sam said he missed the sell by 3 pips. Yeah, I mean this would be a nice entry for sell here. Let me see. So I have the sellers in control from here, and then I have the buyers which push price back up from here. And then we have the sellers back in control from right here. Okay, so at this point, if you guys are looking for an NPS V2, I'll probably try to look for one here. Let me take a look at the confluences. There's no confluences here on the 1 minute market profile. There's no confluences here on the 30 minute. There's somewhat of a confluence here on the 1 hour. So depending if this rejects off so if this pushes down a little further and rejects off the point of control, we could have possible confirmation or confluence here on the 1 hour, but that's about it. There's nothing here on the volume profile. There's there's nothing really here, but there is some push off this whole number off the clean chart. So it's pushing off the 42,200. And then over here on the support resistance chart, we do have rejection off the 1 hour resistance. So there's decent amount of confluences here if you guys are looking to take this as an NPS V2. The NPS V2 is starting to set up right here, but you want it to be away from the sessions. It's a little too close here right now. Sam said he's looking for a buy below 42,150. So Sam is actually looking for a buy right here. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I could see this right here, Sam, because this could be a fake out, right? This could be a possible fake out from the sessions right here. Basically a head and shoulders inverted. So I can see that. I see your I see your analysis right there, or your analysis would line up with mine. It's a possibility. I wouldn't say it's gonna happen, but like it's not for sure gonna happen, but it's a possibility. It's a scenario right there. The thing with the MPS V2 guys, it hasn't came up yet. The ATR is very low. It's still below 20. So I think in this day of age, 20 ATR is going to be like the standard. You typically want the ATR to be at least above 20. If it's below 20, it's going to be really tough. Oh, below it. Okay, I see. Yeah. So Sam's looking for something below that point. Gotcha. So this is just his threshold. He's looking for price to come below it right here, then bounce off. Let's check. Let's take a look at because you have gaps on your chart. Let me check my gaps. Yeah, I have a gap right here. This is the 1 minute gap. This probably lines up with yours right there, right, Sam? So I think this is what you were talking about, yeah. So we got a 1 minute gap right there. We have some 5 minute gaps. So there's a couple gaps right here. And there's a 5 minute that's right here as well. And then the higher time frames. There's actually one that's even closer. This is the 1 hour. So there's a 1 hour gap right here. Yeah, so there you go, Sam. Sam actually got in right there at the 150. So nice work, Sam. Anyways, guys, looking at this here, the MPS V2 never came up. So we had a sell signal come up right here. Candles were traced, but it never came back down for confirmation. So there is no entry here for MPS V2, at least not yet. All right. So not much going on here. 7:47. We got about 13 minutes till 8 o'clock. You guys can see here the volatility is still pretty low. Looking at this here, so if you guys remember, I drew this range right here, right? Price pretty much came back down and respected it. So I drew this box right here. Price has kind of just been faking out back and forth around it. And it pulled right back to it. So if you look over here, I do this box because price would push up, fake out, come below, fake out, come back up, fake out, fake out. Came over here and then it retested it at this point. Now it's pushing back up. We'll see if this buy signal ends up coming up. There was a pending buy signal. There you go again. Pending buy signal on this specific candle. Let's see, Shiv said, just to confirm, you always do 20-30, Sean, not 20-20. Yeah, the 30 is like it's just the safety net for the stop loss, Shiv. So I keep it at 30. I usually always just go in for the 30-30 Shiv. So I initially go in for 30-30, but if the market's slow, then I'll just adjust it like I did right here. So like pretty much what I did, I got in for a 30-30 and then I just ended up pulling it down a little bit because thing is a 30 never would have hit. So it's actually a smart move that we moved it down to the 20 right there. Exactly. We would have gotten burned if we held on to the full 30. It would have been nice for a 1-to-1, but it's all good. You know, a win is a win on that. You know, like I said, the entries are not always going to be perfect. In a lot of instances, they're going to be imperfect, right? Where you have to make adjustments. The thing with this that I liked about it though is that the initial candle, it went straight to the 20 on that first push, right? So this shows you that the strategy still works fine. It's just the volatility is too low. So you couldn't go for that 30, you'd have to go for the 20 because it immediately hit on the first candle like it's supposed to. Yeah, it's just adapting with the market, guys. That's why I created this whole ATR indicator down here. I mean, you can put your own ATR, but I created my own where I can actually see it right here because it makes a huge difference. Makes a huge difference when you can see it right in front of you versus having to look at a different indicator. I just like having it on the chart right there at the bottom. Nice. Craig said he entered the pivots for a buy and he's done for the day. Nice work, Craig. Yeah, that's solid. you really only need like one or two trades a day, guys. That's kind of what I do, right? I had my win for the day and I'm pretty much, I mean, ideally I would look for another entry. I would like to take another entry, but I'm happy with what I got for the day so far. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have another win. And then recoup a lot of this. And then hopefully Friday will be good too. Yeah, my goal for tomorrow is really to take one or two wins and then kind of like bounce back for the week and then or one win tomorrow, maybe one win on Friday. But I do hope the volatility picks back up because this low volatility type of market is not the type of market you want to be in, right? These are like summer conditions. I really do think this is just for today because of the interest rate news. So it's just gonna be a matter of time until the market starts to swing back into. We're probably gonna see some crazy movement around 11 o'clock. So if you guys want to keep trading today, just remember that the interest rate news comes out at 11 over here. So you want to be careful because when that happens, I mean, expect some pretty craziness to happen in the market. I mean, it's a big news event, right? It's something that everybody's looking for. So you're gonna have manipulation on all ends. I mean, price might not even spike. You might have a whipsaw. You have a big you have a candle that will push up for like 1 second and then come down the next second. You're gonna have people betting on both ends. Right, this is an MPS V2, guys. I'm not going to take this entry here, but this is the MPS V2 that hasn't closed yet. So we had a sell signal right here, price retrace step, came back down. Actually, it happened right here on the previous one. Yeah, so the MPS V2 already ran. Right there, I didn't even see this candle close below it. So sell signal, retrace on these green candles. This red candle closed below this black line, which was the momentum signal. And this was an MPS V2 here. It spiked right to TP on the first candle for 20 points. 30 points hasn't hit yet, but the 20 points did hit. It's probably gonna push down further to the 30, but like I said, the ATR is too low. Not exactly one that I would mess with. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna wrap this up pretty soon. Let's see. Craig said eval though, back with FTMO, Apex, and other future props. I couldn't trade with lower drawdown available. Yeah, I mean, if you can trade with FTMO, they're fine. Barack still trades with FTMO as well, and he does pretty fine with them. I mean, I think the best part about them is they don't have a trailing drawdown, right? I think that's the thing that kind of hurt you, Craig, was the trailing drawdown, right? If you wanted to trade without trailing drawdown, there's some futures prop firms out there that don't have a trailing drawdown. I think Tradeify is one of them. I use Tradeify as well, straight to funded. They have it's an end of day drawdown. So, I mean, if you ever want to come back to futures, that's one of your options there. I have a promo code for it too. If you go to the Discord and you go over here to funding companies, if you do Tradeify right here, the straight to funded I think is like $600. So if for $600 you're like straight to funded, you don't have to do any eval. You get right to it. If you use this code here, you get the discount. So yeah, that one's it's like another option. Yeah, Craig said trailing is only 4% overall as opposed to FTMO 5% daily. Oh, yeah, that's what you mean. You want the big wide trailing drawdown, like not a trailing drawdown. You just want to draw down overall. I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Those are easier to pass because you can just have one trade and that one trade could either win or lose, right? With FTMO, you can literally YOLO on FTMO because it's an equal distance drawdown. It's equal distance for the 50K count though on Apex. So like if you did Apex on the 50K count, your drawdown would be pretty much the same as it would be with FTMO. So I don't know if you looked into that, but that's why like a lot of people do the 50K counts because they're the closest to it. But yeah, Craig he doesn't YOLO anymore. Well, that's good, bro. You're learning. You're finally learning from those YOLO trades and finding consistency. So it looks like the 30 minutes, the 30 points here might get hit on this MPSV2. We'll see. I'll just follow it here. I'm not in this position, but I'm just curious to see if it'll hit because the ATR is so low. But yeah, Craig, if you want to hit me up, feel free to message me on Discord. I can get back to you on there. Yeah, Jasper said, except that if it pushes up and retraces, that hurts your drawdown with Apex. Yeah, exactly. I agree with you 100%, Jasper. That's why for me with Apex, that's why I go for these smaller entries, right? You can't go for those big targets with Apex. I mean, I see people do it sometimes with like smaller accounts, or smaller contract sizes, but it's really hard to trade with Apex because you can be in profit, and then if it retraces on you, then you're screwed, right? Because if it retraces on you, then you can still lose due to the drawdown if you're not on a funded account, because it's going to hurt your drawdown. And I think that's like the worst part about the trailing drawdown feature. All right, Sam. Yeah, Sam said, thanks for today, Sean. Green, happy. Yeah, definitely, Sam. You killed it. So, yeah, again, if you guys want to hop in on the mentoring session, I'll be back here in a few hours at 3 p.m. Pacific time. We'll be covering pretty much the MPSV2. I'll cover my charts. I'll explain how everything's set up, my market profile, all my settings and stuff like that. And it's all completely free. If you guys are on the YouTube, just make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications because YouTube will send you emails whenever I go live. I go live sometimes throughout the day, not always in the morning. If I'm bored, I'll go on for a mentoring session with somebody else. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, I think those are all the questions for today. It's about to be 8 o'clock, so I don't think there's anything else here for us to take. This MPSV2 did hit full TP for 30 points, which is nice. So it goes to show that the strategy still works fine, right? You have to adapt with the ATR. The ATR right now is down to 16. So I wouldn't necessarily try to aim for this here. I would just go for the 20. But if you went for the 30 here, the 30 did hit. I just wanted to show you guys that strategy still works. It's just you got to pick and choose your battles. I mean, obviously we made some adaptation. We adapted to it over here, but this over here was a smooth move straight down. So, all right, guys, I think that's it. Again, if you guys have any profits to post up, feel free to send them up. Here are my profits for the day. I just took one trade over here, which was the MPSV2. I went in for a smaller target because the ATR was so low. My profit here, I locked in about 24,000 for the day. So nothing crazy. I mean, it's normal. Not the full 30, 40K that I was hoping to get, but that's all good, right? You can't complain about making profits. Just got to move on with it and then come back to more fresh. So, all right, guys, if you guys are going to hop on the mentoring session, I'll see you guys back here in a few hours. If you guys are not hopping on the mentoring session, but if you guys have questions, feel free to send me your questions on Discord. I'll cover your questions at the beginning of the mentoring session. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, I will be back here in a few hours for the mentoring session in a few.